Sam English, 3-0 Tigers. There's one of those athletic midfielders.
Sam English can do it all, and he can do it with both hands. Very smooth operator out there. Let's take a look again as he sweeps with the right hand, and I think it's time for a timeout for the Quakers, and they will take one to reset.
Connor Davis in goals per game. Hanley, freshman All-American a couple years back, big 6'5" frame. Sets up Cam Rubin, who gets the Quakers on the board with a man-up tally to make it 3-1.
And a beautiful one at that with the left hand beating Eric Peters off stick. Let's take a look. Lefty high to high, off stick. Peters read it well, tried to catch up with it, but couldn't. Conference schedules that both of these teams played very, very impressive as Penn makes a run.
Across the top of the box, Ben Bedard, who started his career as a defensive midfielder. He's played with a long stick in his hands at times. One of the more versatile midfielders in college lacrosse, makes it a one-goal game.
Talk about recruiting. On a guy that can play with every stick on the field, do it on the defensive, offensive side of the ball. That's what 19 can do.
Here's Sam English. Skip pass. Vardaro goes low and burns it past maybe their best outside shooter and gets the 2-goal lead back.
They used to call it a worm burner, but I think that's when they played on grass. I don't know what you call it, but he burned it. Woo! You said it, Cody. What a job there. Skips it once. Pass would have called that a push as well.
Last year for Penn, or last week for Penn, 7 failed clears in that game. Sam English with his second of the day.
How about that in traffic? But again, puts that stick in one hand. It's so dangerous. You think it's going to get checked out every time. But he pulls it back just in the nick of time to the right hand and sneaks it past Birkinshaw. Tough to know if Birkinshaw...
What do you put the short stick on these offenses?
That's a great question, Cody, because last week you put it on Mackesy because you hadn't seen much from him. Well, you saw plenty from 91 on the tape this week.
Sam Hanley draws the slide. Dylan Gergar goes top shelf to make it a 2-goal game.
Gergar, we talked about the clutch goal he had with a second left, and we showed that highlight, the low to high stinger to the corner. This one, the high to high stinger to the corner for 40 as he gets on the board.
He was a starter a couple years ago. He's in a reserve role, but he was in the middle of that.
There's Vardaro. No numbers, but room.
Vardaro to Brown, tic-tac-toe in transition to make it 6-3. Defense into offense for the Princeton Tigers. 24 saves, a Sherrod Field record, a Virginia freshman record. Turning the corner, Alex Slusher with a fist pump. It's 7-3 Princeton.
Well, there's a reason he was one of the top attack recruits in the country, and there's also a reason he was able to play midfield so well 2 years ago. That's because he is just a lacrosse player. Sweeps with the right hand, fights through traffic. Not the biggest guy on the field. In fact, the defender was big.
Freshman with Michael Sowers here and Philip Robertson here. He started in the midfield. Back at attack, and he's comfortable no matter where you put him. So Jake Stevens wearing number 55. We're told Pace Billings is now wearing 41 on defense. Coulter Mackesy still wearing number 91. To bring your radar gun.
Barely see that one. High to high. Not the corner he picked off in that highlight reel goal a week ago. That was top left. He wanted to say hi to the top right corner this time. High to high beats Birkinshaw. And the Tigers with a...
Still 30 on the shot clock. Slusher defended by Keel. Somehow sneaks it in under the crossbar. Second of the day for the Oregon native. It's 9-3 Tigers.
Just as he let that go, I said, how can you shoot from that low of an angle? It doesn't have a chance. And before I could finish my own thought, it's in the back of the cage.
One of the youngest coordinators in the nation, graduated in 2015. On the run, Sam Hanley with the stick flip, and he got flagged for that.
Is the penalty on Princeton for the check that resulted in the stick leaving his hands, or did he flip it proactively? We'll see what the call is. Great shot, regardless of what happened after the play, and we'll see who sits.
20 seconds left on the Penn man up.
What a shot.
Gerger blows it past from the near side. Penn back-to-back goals to make it a contest.
You see why 40 shoots so much. 16 goals coming into the game. 2 today. Low to high. Beats Peters. And for the Quakers to make this a 3-goal game, which is a totally different ball game.
Penn came into the day 22% on the man up. That was 57th in the country. They're now 3 for 3 with the extra man from 9-3 to 9-6.
And as I said, 6'5" from the outside. He can get a ton behind it. Peters would love to have that back because that's the shot you want Penn to take when they're man up. You don't want it on the doorstep, but you can't catch up to it. 6'5", 230.
Extended, and again, a man left unmarked at X. This time it's Chris Brown. Comes out near side, curls in, lands in the crease.
They're saying no. Oh,
Goal
they're
is
saying
good.
yes. I saw the shake of the head.
I stopped trying to figure out what the rules are down by the crease.
I guess what he was saying was he wasn't in the crease instead of he didn't score. Take a look. This is just body on body. I'm bigger than you are. Try to stop me.
Chris Brown against Theo Lenz, the 5'10", 43%. Sandoval coming in 54%. Faceoff's just such a game of matchups. Penn now 4 for 4 on the man up. Caleb Fernandez, the senior. First goal of the senior season for the Florida native, and it's back to a 3-goal game.
Penn making the man up game look easy. It's supposed to be easy. Yes, you have a man advantage, but it's hard to score 3 straight man up goals. Penn, again, making it look easy, beating Peters, and a little bit of a different dynamic is a good one.
Jamie Atkinson trying to get a step on his man. Brown through the defense. Tommy Barnes. Tigers get the lead back up to 4.
An impressive shot by Barnes because it almost looked like he was fading away, but still got a ton on this. He did actually get a step into it. Great job by him of keeping his hands free. The defense just gets there.
Weeks ago against Penn State. On the doorstep, shoveled and a goal.
Beautiful.
Cam Rubin, the sophomore, cuts it to 2 with 4 seconds to go in the second quarter. They just gave the goal to Princeton on the scoreboard, but that was a Penn goal by Cam Rubin.
The sophomore out of Massachusetts. Second, we might get a moving pick call there, but not to be. Great stick check by Penn.
Atkinson has that one taken away by Matt Palazzi. Up through Robert Shane. Penn on offense trying to make it a 2-goal contest. Man wide open. Cam Rubin with some velocity, and he makes it 11-9.
Great job by Rubin. And beating Peters. And making this a 2-goal game. Penn knocking on the door. Let's take this all the way from the defensive half. You see Palazzi moves it forward to Ed Arnold, the junior defender, and then it's Rubin.
For Penn, it's been Zuzi taking every faceoff. Another one for Rubin, give him 4. It's a 1-goal game early in the second half. Back-to-back tallies by the sophomore.
And how about just the little hesitation to reset, take a step. You thought he was going to shoot it right there. Takes a step upfield, which increases his angle. Peters unable.
It's 11-10. After Princeton had a 9-3 lead in transition, Chris Brown goes top shelf, scores, and a flag flies after.
Little and one. Got pushed in the back, but he drew that penalty by beating the defender and having the defender on his back. We'll take another look. He just moves kind of casually. Doesn't need to sprint, just smart. High look.
Oh, Cornell. They were a top 5 team. Princeton getting a couple back. That's Vardaro on the dodge.
Wow.
Alex Vardaro, the junior, gives the Tigers a 3-goal lead back.
And it seems like every time Princeton needs an answer, they find it. It was just Chris Brown. This
Owings Mills, Maryland, out of the McDonough School. He's got 4 ground balls.
beautiful pass.
Thought about the shot. They make the extra pass, and on the doorstep, that's Piper Bond. First goal of the season for the senior out of the Gilman School, and it's a 2-goal game.
Well, you see Farrar, and then it's the ball movement. How about Palazzi? A little pump.
He's got 3 goals already.
Mackesy behind the cage, and again, Penn deciding to keep their defenders above goal line extended, but it doesn't matter.
You just talked about the depth. There's the first of the day, second in the career for Sean Cameron, the freshman. Product of Bishop Girton. Bedford, New Hampshire native gets on the board for the Tigers. Princeton gets the 3-goal lead back. We'll be back to Sherrod Field for more third quarter action here on the Ivy League on ESPN.
RWJ Barnabas Health has a passion for heart health with the most comprehensive services, including the state's largest adult and pediatric cardiac surgery programs, a heart transplant program that's top 15 nationally, a partnership with Rutgers Health, the latest technology and medical advancements, and nationally renowned care for every heart in every community. Whoever your heart beats for, our hearts beat for you. RWJ Barnabas Health.
Princeton goalie Eric Peters, he is the back-to-back Ivy League Player of the Week. He's on the Tewaaraton watch list. This is his summer 2019 internship. That's Coda on the left, Amaroq on the right. Spent it at the Colorado Wolf and Wildlife Center. Gave some tours, made some friends, helped take care of the animals. He's writing his thesis, ready for this wolf reintroduction on deer vehicle collisions in Wyoming, ahead of an impending wolf reintroduction plan in Colorado.
You know, Cody, when people talk about lacrosse, they always say, aren't the goalies scared of the ball when it's coming 100 miles an hour? Just go face-to-face with some wolves for a summer, and I think lacrosse might seem not as daunting. That is incredible, and I made a trip out to Yellowstone earlier this year. Fantastic, would recommend it. Really wanted to see a wolf, couldn't see one, and then here I see Eric Peters up close and personal. If I had seen one from 200 yards away, I would have been happy, but Eric Peters gets up close and personal.
So they just took the stick away from Penn's faceoff man. First time today we've seen Chris Arceri. The officials threw the flag, so Arceri flagged. Second time today we've seen Penn penalized for equipment. Interesting, first time Arceri stepped on the field. Younger brother of former Penn State All-American faceoff man Gerard Arceri, as we take another look at it.
I can't make the coaching staff happy. Arceri enters the game and just as quickly is back in the penalty box.
Does that mean Princeton knew something coming in?
I mean, you've got to think. I haven't seen really stick checks in a while. And here we get 2 penalized stick checks. Not just stick checks, but legit.
Penn 4 for 4 on the man-up. Princeton, who came in second in the nation in man-up scoring, is 1 for 3. The Tigers were 9 of 12 with the extra man coming into the day, second in the nation behind top-ranked Maryland. 44 seconds left on the extra man here. Jake Stevens goes low to high to beat Birkinshaw. Man-up tally for the Tigers.
And there I go again saying, who's 55? Oh, it's Jake Stevens. I recognize the shot. Still getting used to the number, but 55 nets one for the Tigers. A little sidewinder, made it look easy.
He's got 6 ground balls. He had an assist
pretty precious in the second half.
Peter Blake scooped it up down at the other end. Eric Peters comes out of the crease. He gets trucked. Ball carrying, top sideline. There was a push, possession to Penn. Matt Madelon throws his arms up in the air.
Let's take a look. Peters gets pushed.
Fifth of the day for Cam Rubin. That'll likely go down as a man-down goal. The penalty had just expired, but they weren't quite back at 6-on-6, although an unsettled situation anyway.
Rubin having himself a day, and I think people are a little confused as to the situation. Penn's not confused at all. They wanted the quick whistle. Cam Rubin was game. There's just something about that last goal that really swung momentum, especially amongst the fans in the stadium.
This is a huge possession. Carrying center, Fury gets the high bounce off the turf, and it's 15-13.
And a great shot. Use the ground to your advantage. When you first start playing this game, they always tell you to shoot bounce shots. And it's not just because you're 8 years old and can't get much mustard on the ball. It's because it works, and it works at every level. Off-stick advantage, but Song, his lacrosse IQ, will battle anyone in the nation.
And now you get Schultz on the short stick. Skip pass across the top of the box. There's a shot, top shelf. Hanley with a goal, and it's a one-goal game.
Handley, high to high, causing fits for the Princeton defense. Again, you know he's a size mismatch, and you're depending on your goaltender to stop some of them. But this one's a tough one to catch up to for any goaltender. I don't care if you're having a great game or a not-so-great game.
On a piece, 5 on the shot clock. Rubin sends it back in. Handley on the doorstep. Turnaround. They beat him short side for the first time since it was scoreless. We're all tied up. They restarted with 5 seconds on the shot clock.
And we're going to have a great angle from this camera. And Eric Peters, it's right at him. It's almost.
For the Penn Quakers, it's a 4-0 run over the last 3.5 minutes or so. On the doorstep, Penn leads for the first time today. Cam Rubin has another one. 6th goal of the day for the sophomore from Natick.
Cam Rubin answering the call here today. This Penn team has great chemistry on the offensive end, and they found.
Sam English up to Vardaro, 30 to shoot. Uses the turf and ties us at 16, so Penn with a short-lived lead. Alexander Vardaro with his 3rd of the contest.
Great creativity, uses the screen and the traffic, uses the turf, uses everything.
Got 10 points. Cam Rubin has 8 points, a player who came in with 6 points in his career. Face-off win, that time not by Zuzi, by Arceri. Gets it over to Gergar on the doorstep, stick fake, and we're back with Penn on top, Jack Schultz.
It gets no easier than that on the doorstep. Schultz, a couple stick fakes, and beats Penn. Got to keep that ball moving, keep the defense moving.
That was Piper Bond standing his ground. Turnaround shot by Slusher to tie us at 17.
Well, that's what the doctor ordered if you're a Tiger fan, and that's what you need to do with a new goaltender coming in the 4th quarter. Test them early, maybe make them a little bit uncomfortable away from home.
I don't think anyone expected it to be this much of a shootout.
Certainly didn't, not with the goaltenders coming in with the stats they did. Certainly wouldn't have thought Birkinshaw would come out.
2 shots against the new goalie, 2 goals. That's Jake Stevens putting Princeton back on top. 2nd goal of the day for the Ontario native.
And this is certainly going to be a storyline. Shoot often on a goaltender that wasn't in for the first 3 quarters. Princeton so far, 2 for 2.
4th most of the second half. Tigers with a head of steam. Vardaro sets up Ronda. This place is rocking.
And I won't go with a Beach Boys reference there, but you know what I would say. What a job by Christian Ronda. Releases it before you even knew he had the ball. Low to low, 3 for 3 against the new goaltender are the Princeton Tigers. And a
5 on the man up today. This is a unit that came in right around 22%. Special teams have been fantastic, and they're back within 1 from the top side. Who else but Cam Rubin? Goal number 7 for the sophomore.
And Cam Rubin, what he's able to do by getting those hands free and really extending them. Cam Rubin's 5'9", 170, getting as much on it as his teammate Sam Handley, who's 6'.
Gabe Fury gets below his man, fires top shelf to tie us at 19.
With the sun at his back, he beats Peters high to high and really makes Peters look right into the sun. Shoots right through his own shadow, folks. Taking care of business.
Sam English draws the extra defender. Here comes Chris Brown. He's a lefty. He got on his natural side. He goes top shelf to make it 2019 Tigers. Can't let Chris Brown get the left hand free.
You can't. And who answers the call? It's the senior, the leader, Chris Brown, who quite frankly, and I mean this in the best way possible, has been
out in front, man, wide open, and we are back even. That's Ben Smith, the freshman. Had his first career goal last week against Villanova. He ties us up at 20 with just over 90 seconds to go.
Here we go. Look at that. And oh, by the way, Gargar's first assist of this.
Shipley initiates, 20 seconds left. Back up top, Shipley. They've got Hanley out in the midfield. Shipley with Crimmins draped on him, saved by Peters. Ball trickles. Eric Peters drops the lid on it.
8 seconds.
Here come the Tigers. Princeton to Andrew Song. They will not get a shot off, and we are going to overtime as if this one would have gone any other way.
At the end of regulation, Princeton
call it 0-0-0, call it 20-20, call it what you want. We're playing extras.
2020 game, you don't think about great defense. This has been great defense. Penn player breaks a stick.
That's
the
it.
Shot on the goal for Chris Brown to win it.
They lose a defender because his stick broke. He had to run off the field. Princeton takes advantage.
1:45 into overtime. Chris Brown, the veteran southpaw for the Tigers, wins it. His 6th goal of the day. Princeton knocks off number 3 Georgetown, number 3 Rutgers, and number 6 Penn in back-to-back-to-back. Penn took a couple of one-goal leads, but this is the game winner in overtime. 6th of the day for Chris Brown. We'll be back to wrap it up after this.